If you don't check corruption, there is no way you can make any meaningful leap in life.
We talk about the stomach infrastructure policy.
Stomach infrastructure is simply about the welfare of the people, coming to the level of the people.
And the mere fact that you are a minister does not make it to be criminal. No court of law has convicted them.
Welcome to today's episode of the Osasu Show. With me today is the Special Advisor to the President on Media and Publicity. He's also the former President of the Nigeria Guild of Editors. You're welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us. So I always like to start off on a light note. So can you tell me what a typical day is like for you?
Well, you talk of a day starting when you know when the previous one ended. For me, it's almost like a round-the-clock work because the phones keep ringing, local calls, international calls, foreign media, local media, and all that. But, well, we know that, okay, morning hours, you head for the office, and your schedule revolves around that of the president, okay? So the first thing is to look at the president's schedule for the day, and you know the programs that you will need to sit in, and you know the ones that they call them one-on-one, and then your day does not end till the president's day ends.
And typically, what time is that?
Typically, you know, the president gets into the office at 9:10, and he doesn't leave at times till 7, but that does not mean the day has ended because he just retires to the residence and things continue. Wow. It could be private meetings, it could be political meetings. I'm sure last night I was with him till 11, okay,
and you're here now.
So I must tell you, it's a hectic schedule.
It's a hectic schedule.
What amazes me is how the president runs that schedule. There have been 2 international trips, one to the AU summit in South Africa. It was packed. The day starts in the morning and does not end till 1, 2 a.m. the next day. And it sees through all that schedule. The second was a trip to the United States. 3 days packed full from morning to night. He didn't miss a single program. So his work rate is amazing for a man that is 72. So if at 72 he can cope with that schedule, who are we to cope?
Exactly. That's great. And speaking about Mr. President, can you walk us through his blueprint plan? What does he have planned for change? I know change was the mantra that the APC, the All Progressive Congress, ran on. So what does that mean now that he's president? It's almost marking 100 days, and when this episode will be airing, it'll be over 100 days that Mr. President will be in office. So what does that mean? What are his plans for Nigeria?
Well, his party, the All Progressive Congress, has a manifesto. You know, before the elections, it was publicly unfolded. It was a manifesto day in which it told Nigerians what it would do if it got into power. Now that the party is in power now, it will work according to the manifesto. But one thing I can tell you about the president, what he emphasizes, 3 focal areas. One is security. He keeps saying you can't administer a country that you have not secured. So he's determined to secure the country. And you see it all happening in the Northeast, where kidnapping is rife, where armed robbery is endemic and all that. The security situation is being addressed. And then he also talked about the economy, particularly with reference to youth employment. And that is also working towards. In fact, there was a recent meeting with the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria when they complained about some policies, and he told them that he is ready to somersault on policies as long as it will translate to employment for Nigerians, particularly youths. So he is determined to get the economy going again and create employment for Nigerians. And of course, the third focal area is the anti-corruption war. You know, a lot has been happening on that. He has said billions of dollars was taken out of Nigeria illegally and is determined to get that money back.
Speaking about corruption, the probe has kind of been lopsided. A lot of people in the past administration, and rightfully so, the People's Democratic Party have been probed for these corruption allegations. When is that going to balance off to those people who have been accused of corruption in the All Progressive Congress?
Well, the media loves the word probe. Well, nobody is being probed. What is going on, you can call it investigation of certain leads that are apparent. You get into office and you see fresh trails everywhere leading to money taken out of the system. What do? You shut your eyes to those trails that are fresh that you can follow and will lead you to the money that you can recover. It will be irresponsible of any administration to shut its eyes to those kind of trails. So what is happening is that the government is following up on those trails. And trails that are fresh are easier to follow.
That's true.
Than the ones that have long disappeared. So that is what is happening. It's not a probe. If it was a probe of the previous administration, you will be talking of the whole gamut of what that government did. It was in power for 6 years, so you will start from day one and probe every aspect of that government. What is happening now is not a probe. It's just investigating certain leads which are evident.
Are we going to extend that investigation to the past?
The president said it during his trip to the United States of America that if anybody, even in APC, is accused of corruption, being in APC is no alibi. He will also ensure that such a person is probed and he has his day in court. So a party does not exculpate anybody from this investigation.
That's good, because he did make the statement that he belongs to everybody and nobody. I think that's his most popular statement so far. So that's great. So let's talk a little about the ministerial appointments. When can we expect this to be done?
There's a timeline, and that timeline is September. September is here already. Like they say, pregnancy cannot hide forever. It will become apparent at the time. So we're in the month that he has promised. He's a promise keeper. He'll do it. You know, he didn't tell you whether it was going to be at the beginning or at the middle until September 30. It's still on course.
Okay, we look forward to that. So let's see what the people have to say about our topic that we've talked about so far, about corruption and change. So we went into the streets and we talked to a few of the masses about these topics. So let's see how they assess the president and let's see their opinion on corruption and change. We'll be right back on the Osasu Show. We are here with Mr. Hyson Tajibo.
Yes.
So what can the government do to curb corruption?
Government we need a good leader that can lead our country to the better destination so that everybody will enjoy. Because if we have a good leader, as this man has entered now, we are expecting good things from him.
He has been promising some
Change.
Yes. And since he sat there, we never see any change that is going on. From the ministers, he has never
Appointed them.
any of them. The people are complaining of that. So I would have asked him, where is the change he was promising us to, he will bring to us. We have never seen it, and this is up to 3 or 4 months.
I'll just say he's trying. It's not up to, okay, this is September, right? That means he's been on the throne or in the office for 4 months or thereabouts. And for me, I can say there's constant electricity. For that, I'm glad.
What kind of change would you advise them to start implementing right now?
Well, I would like say that based on the appointment I had or the appointment he gave, it's not fair. It was not fair. Me, I don't have anything, because even when he puts my brother, I don't think it's going to affect me directly. But though it will affect the state, but I think the change should start from him because he wasn't fair.
What would you say about some people saying that Buhari is only going after PDP people and the people who didn't vote for him, that he's not fighting corruption from people in his party, APC?
No, some people, they don't understand who is Buhari. As what I hear, the time that Buhari become as a president, Buhari said that
I belong to everybody and I'm not belong to anybody. This means that Buhari is for the whole Nigeria. And there is no any specific person or ethnic or religion that they say Buhari is our own and Buhari is not your own. And Buhari could come from our side, Buhari no come from your side, and so thing. So Buhari is a human being which is not be like this one.
Welcome back to the Osasu Show. Still with me is the Special Advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, Mr. Femi Adesina. Thank you for sitting tight with us, sir.
Thank you.
With me right now is Kenneth and Michael, representatives of the masses. Thank you so much for joining us. So we want to give you guys the opportunity to ask Mr. Adesina questions that are particularly pertaining to you and what the masses really want to hear. So you can go ahead.
Let me start off with Mr. Adesina, maybe on a very light note, sure. I understand you are a pastor and editor of a big newspaper like The Sun, now SSA took media to the president. How do you balance this?
Well, having been a journalist all my post-university life, I have learned to juggle things together. I was in active media practice for 29 years and I rose from a staff reporter to editor-in-chief of a newspaper, and I'm also a church person, like you have said. I'm a pastor, I'm a family man. Therefore, you need to juggle all that together. So I've been married for 24 years, so
Definitely have balance.
Yes. So I have experience in media, I have experience as a family man, then I also have experience as a church person. I juggle all that together. And then you have this challenging, time-consuming assignment that I have also taken with President Muhammadu Buhari. The juggling continues.
So Kenneth, let me give you a chance.
Okay, sir. So please, I would like to ask, because right now the motto has been change all the way. So I would like to know what the president himself has for the youths, because you're very close to him, and we the youths out there want to know what he has for us, what he has in stock for us. Sir.
Thank you. You'll recall that during the campaigns, the president kept repeating that the larger number of Nigeria's population is made up of youths, and 60% of those youths are unemployed. So the fact that he kept repeating that at most of his stops showed that it concerns him. And a number of times I've heard him repeat the same thing when he received people. I'll talk about the one I have talked about earlier today, which is the visit of the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria. They came to complain about some policies, particularly monetary policies introduced by the Central Bank of Nigeria, how it was going to stifle the industrial sector and all that. Fortunately, the Central Bank governor was at that meeting. He defended the policy. And you know what the president said to cap it up? He said, anything that will translate to jobs for youths, he's ready to do, including policy somersaults. That is, he's ready to change certain policies that had been in place if it will mean more jobs for Nigerian youths. So it shows you where the youths are in his heart. Of course, any good president, any reasonable president, any president that loves his country will be disturbed to hear that 60% of the population, youths, are unemployed.
So, to this question, sir, I see change as a true and total departure from the old order. Now, knowing President Muhammadu Buhari for being a person who says things that he intends to do. Now, based on these two sides, this change that we have entered into, how total is it going to be?
Thank you. Don't forget that there is a lifespan for the administration, and that lifespan is 48 months or 4 years. Therefore, that change is not going to come by a sudden flight. It's something you begin to work on, something you work at, something you build, and then gradually it comes. It's about 100 days, just 3 months out of 48 months. Nigerians have begun to see the change. They can talk about attitude. For instance, ask yourself, what happened that's making electricity work? Is it that the Buhari administration has poured millions of dollars into it? No. It's just the realization that a new sheriff is in town, and you've got to behave differently, and it has reflected. Refineries are beginning to work. Has it poured billions of dollars into the refineries? No, it's the same attitude. So you can see that change is beginning to manifest. That's in 3 months. So you can now imagine what will happen after 48 months.
And just as a follow-up question, we have someone from Twitter, Ezenwa Emmanuel Obi. He asked, how do you assess the president on employment solutions? So we want to talk about specific unemployment solutions for the youth. So how do you assess the president and his ability to do this? And what are some practical and tangible solutions that you have in place?
Well, the first thing is to be sensitive to the fact that unemployment is rife, and that has been established. The president is very sensitive to it, and so whatever it would take, he's ready to do. It's a different thing if you are living in denial, if you didn't accept that unemployment was a time bomb. In fact, at a delegation yesterday, he said the time bomb the country was sitting on was youth unemployment. That if the country didn't do anything about it soon, one day, even all the military, all the police, all the security agencies will not be able to secure the country against rampaging youths. That shows you that he cares, he's aware. And as he makes up his government, within the month, ministers coming in, setting up other teams and all that, you can be sure that everything will be targeted towards employment opportunities. And of course, with emphasis on agriculture, solid minerals, and other things to diversify the economy, job opportunities will also come.
No, I could say check with something because you said the last time maybe the light is cut and we have electricity now, but when you talk to most people around, people will tell you maybe because of the weather, the rainy season, and the town is full, and that's why the power supply is coming up and all that. So I don't really understand how because the drastic change that came up.
Yeah, you needed to have listened to the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Power. He said the megawatts are going up because there is less vandalization. And why and how did vandalization stop? Because those who used to do the vandalization have a man they can trust. They have a man they can believe in. You do all those antisocial things when you don't trust government, when you don't have confidence in government, when you say to hell with them. But if you believe that this man can make a difference, and you say, oh, this is for our collective good, so let's keep our gunpowder dry. That's what is happening.
So, this quick one. I've seen you defend General Muhammadu Buhari's policies and his person at many occasions. Now, the very position you're holding now, some other people have held this position in the past, and at the end of that government, they've paid with their careers. What do you think?
Well,
I'm scared.
No. Remember you mentioned earlier that I was a pastor. And the scripture that comes to my mind now is when some people say there is a casting down, others will say there is a lifting up. So that just shows you different strokes for different folks. While some people are being cast down, some other people are being lifted up. With me, it's going to be a lifting up.
So, gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. Do you have any final questions for our guests today?
For me, not really a question, but I want you to use the closeness you have with the president at the moment to help us tell him the truth all the time.
Now you have touched something that will take me back to the first day I resumed at the job. The first day I came to see him, my appointment was announced on May 31. June 1st, I then flew from Lagos to Abuja to tell him I was resuming. You know, the president is full of wisecracks. Yeah. The moment he saw me, he said, "Chief Adesina, welcome to Sambisa House." And we had a good laugh. And after that, we got to talking seriously, and he told me, says, "What I want from you on this job is the truth. At all times, tell me the truth." He said, "You know I'm a general. I may argue, but please argue with me. If you come up with a superior argument, I will see reason." So you about asking me to tell him the truth, he was the one who first asked for the truth. And that's how we've been relating. If there's anything, I point his attention, I say, "Mr. President, this, and this." He gives his own perspective. We discuss it back and forth. So this is not an administration where you just tell the president what he loves to hear. This is one in which he has requested for the truth, and you can tell him that truth.
Okay, sir. So finally, I could ask, what do you tell Nigerians in the next 45 months to expect? Yes, in the next almost 3 and what months to expect from?
I want to believe, by the grace of God, that next 45 months, when the administration will be ending, Nigerians will be quite glad that they had elected President Muhammadu Buhari into office. They can look back and say, "Thus far has the Lord helped us," because they will compare what will subsist at that time with what subsisted as of May 29, 2015, and they will say there's no basis for comparison.
I hope that's all right.
Thank you so much, gentlemen. This has been an amazing platform and show to really voice out our opinions. And I really hope that Mr. President will be able to accomplish all these that we have talked about so far on the show. So stay tuned, and we'll be right back on the Osasu Show. On Monday, August 31st, 2015, President Muhammadu Buhari swore in his special advisor on media and publicity, Mr. Femi Adesina, as well as the Secretary of Government to the Federation, Mr. Babachia. Also, the National Security Advisor, Major General Babangana Mongolo, was sworn in as well. There was an outpour of negative emotions when the list of President Buhari's cabinet members were released due to the fact that most of them were Northerners. However, the special advisor on media has reassured the public that the appointment will balance out when he has finished putting together his cabinet. A police sergeant in Bauchi State, Godwin Hazai, has been promoted to the rank of inspector for fabricating a bulletproof jacket. Decorating the officer at the police headquarters in Bauchi on Monday, August 31st, the State Police Commissioner Muhammad commended him for displaying exceptional talent. Don't forget to follow us on social media at The Osasu Show on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. For more current affairs news, please check out our website, www.theosasushow.com. For sponsorship opportunities, please call or email the details below. Until next time, take very good care of yourself.